Coastal Bend meteorologist Carly Smith. We are starting with this breaking live weather coverage of a tornado warning that is moving across areas of Refugio County. This is approaching Tivoli now as we speak. A lot of lightning right along Highway 35 here. So this is the Aransas County line. This is going to be Seadrift right here, Oswell right here, Tivoli up here. Lots of lightning. The storm itself, especially where the tornado warning couplet is moving, that is moving to the northeast. And the storm is clearly growing as we're continuing to see the lightning associated with it. I'm going to pause this in just a second, but you can see that couplet right there as we speak. So right now, the tornado warning is expected to last until 5:15 a.m. Your current time is 5:58. Now I'm going to step off so I can control the radar just a little bit. But what we are looking at is going to be this green and red that is really bright right here on the map, right? So that is where we see a possible tornado, radar indicated, circling right this direction, just like this. So right now this is just off to the east of Highway 35, and it is going to be moving to the northeast. The latest update from the National Weather Service has this tornado warning again for Refugio County. There was already a tornado warning for Refugio County. That one was canceled, but now we have a new one that was issued at 4:53 a.m. This is a radar indicated tornado because of that couplet that I just highlighted there on the screen. And we are expecting the chance for flying debris that could be dangerous within this storm. This again is radar indicated, and it is moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. This is near Tivoli, and it is tracking again toward the McFadden area, just like the last storm. So we've got this training line of storms that are really moving into the area or across the area. And there's a couple more that we'll take a look at that are a little concerning a little bit further to the south, but this storm is moving at 25 miles an hour. And if we put the storm tracker on this, then we can see how quickly it will be at some of those locations out ahead of it. So right now, the current time, it's 4:59 a.m. on this Tuesday morning. It is election day. We're looking at it approaching Tivoli High School by 5:10 a.m. So by 5:10, we will be seeing the storm where the possible tornado is. Again, this is not a confirmed tornado, but the radar is showing that there is some pretty tight rotation within the storm. The tighter that rotation goes, the higher the chance there is of a tornado at that time. So now it's currently 5 a.m. on this Tuesday morning. For anyone that is joining in now for First Edition, we are starting our coverage this morning with a tornado warning. This is again in Refugio County. So Refugio County, this is Highway 35. This is Tivoli. Right here is Oswell. Not in the tornado warning, but Tivoli is. So it's Tivoli we're concerned about this morning. If you know anyone in that area, make sure, call them. They're probably aware of lightning, loud, thunder, rolling in this area. Let them know that this isn't just a normal thunderstorm. There is a chance that this storm could have a tornado. So what that means, take shelter in an area that is away from windows, the center of a home or a building. If possible, there is still some time. I believe the timing for this storm approaching Tivoli was about 5:10. So you still have about 10 minutes. If for anyone that is in a mobile home or somewhere like that, it's best to get out of that mobile home. But regardless, 10 minutes is not a lot of time. So make sure you're indoors. That's the best place to be, indoors, in a secure area away from windows. This storm is producing a lot of lightning. That is the first quickest sign to indicate that there's a growing, strengthening updraft that's strong enough to get ice particles up in the atmosphere that are colliding with each other and creating the charges to separate. So we have that going on. We have charges separating, and then it's attracting energy from the earth and the cloud to create that lightning. And that is just a great uptick very quickly in the amount of lightning that is within this storm. So again, right now it is 5:01 a.m. and we're going to stay with this tornado warning until it passes through Tivoli and leaves Refugio County. That is how long we will stay with it, just so everyone is alert and aware. We're going to take a look at the bigger picture on the radar now as we zoom out. just to get an idea of what's going on across the area. So this is our cold front that is tracking across the coastal band. We do have the cold front moving across the area right now, and it is producing not a ton of strong wind gusts. So we'll take a look. Again, our tower camera is not in the path of that tornado. Again, Refugio County, Tivoli, tornado warning until 5:15 a.m. I can't emphasize that enough. Make sure if you know anyone in Tivoli that they are in shelter away from windows. So important on this Tuesday morning as the storms are passing through. In Corpus Christi, it is currently 76 degrees. Our winds are out of the south-southwest at 6 miles per hour. We are clear, so there's no lightning thunderstorms in the Corpus Christi area right now. Padre Island seeing some heavy rain and thunderstorms. This is the line out ahead of the front where there's mixing winds going on. So it's this line that's approaching Padre Island right along 361, Port Aransas, heavy rainfall across 361. If your morning commute takes you along 361, it's going to be best just to wait it out a couple more minutes, about 10-15 minutes, and that line of storms will be through. You'll have a much more pleasant commute. Now there is still some rain behind the front. The cold front really, I think, is the outflow boundary that's out ahead of those showers and storms, crossing Highway 77 right now as we speak. So we've got the front moving through the coastal bend. Temperatures falling quite a bit as we speak. When we zoom out, here is our tornado warning. You can tell this is the strongest storm. I think that storm will continue to be the strongest storm, but if there is any area I'm concerned about another tornado trying to develop, again, this is not confirmed, it's only radar indicated, but it's this line of storms that I would be worried about a tornado popping up. So fishing, not a good idea right now because these storms are going to be moving offshore. We could get some water spouts, dangerous conditions out on the water. That's going to be up through Padre Island, Port Aransas, Rockport, and then toward Refugio, Tivoli again, where we are seeing the strongest thunderstorm this morning with lots and lots of lightning and a radar indicated possible tornado as we speak. What this front is doing, you can see in the area, we've got the mixing winds, right? Because of the front, it's shifting winds out of the north. Those storms coming up, tapping into that warm Gulf water that we still have, creating a little bit more energy as they start to interact with the land. And I think that's why we're getting those possible tornado spin-ups as they move across Aransas County and then into Refugio County. So Refugio, you're getting only a 15-mile-per-hour wind, but it is shifting out of the north now as we speak. We've got north winds in Beeville, some gusts possible around 30-35 miles per hour as the front is moving through. But right now the strongest gust we've got on the map is Robstown, which is having the front and moving across Robstown right now as we speak. So right around the Highway 77 corridor, that is where the cold front is currently. Our temperatures are changing, right? So we're 13 degrees cooler in Beeville. Rockport hasn't changed yet, still 80 degrees. So that's again why right here where we actually, it's like that, actually this is pretty clear now that I'm looking at it. What we have going on is all of the warm, moist air, right? It's coming up, it's tapping into the Gulf of Mexico. We're getting that line of storms that's developed into Refugio County. That cold front is also starting to move into Refugio County. And so right there where that line of storms is meeting the cold front is where we're getting the stronger thunderstorm and the higher risk for a tornado. So it's going to be this part of Refugio County, this northern portion, northeastern portion of Refugio County that has the greatest chance for a tornado this morning. Everyone else, I'm feeling a lot more easy about the storms. You're gonna be like, that was barely anything. That's true, except for those areas. Anyone with farmland or anyone in Tivoli, you're going to be the ones that are like, those storms were really rough this morning. And so again, make sure you're taking shelter indoors, away from windows at this time, as long as this tornado warning is lasting, which at this point is until 5:15 a.m. Look at these temperatures. We have fallen more than 10 degrees in Beeville since 3 o'clock this morning. I think at Corpus Christi right now we're 76. I am expecting between the 7 and 8 o'clock hour that our temperature is down around 66 this morning. So what you see here on our lakes camera, we are kind of in the calm in between storms right now. Granted, the next round of storms through Corpus Christi I think will mostly just be rain showers, but we're really looking at temperatures falling at least 10 degrees as the front passes through. we'll hang out in the 60s. If you have plans to vote today, we've got some thunderstorms moving through early on this morning, but conditions are really going to clear out as we head into the afternoon, and it's going to shape up to be a really, really beautiful afternoon here in Corpus Christi. But right now, I'm going to go back to the radar and see how close this possible tornado couplet is to the Tivoli area now as we speak. So again, this is Oswell, Tivoli. I don't know why our map doesn't want to pick it up, but it's going to be right here. And we've got still a lot of lightning. The tornado warning is until 5:15. So 5:15 is how long our tornado warning is in place. That couplet has gotten much more broad. So what I'm seeing now on this radar imagery is when we first started this live update, this couplet was really tight and it was about right here. It looks like the storm has become a little bit more outflow dominant, meaning obviously we saw how heavy the rainfall was on radar with all those reds showing up, but the downdraft has gotten stronger and that's starting to spread out now on our relative velocity. But this couplet, it's gotten wider, which means I'm less concerned about a tornado, but it's still a couplet compared to the rest of the area. This is going to be the tightest winds that we see this morning. So I'm going to take off the warning so we get an idea of how strong these winds are before I start looking around. So we're talking 20 gate to gate shear, 12 miles per hour. So this isn't anything too crazy, but I would bet I just made it look like a mess. But as I'm analyzing that data, I would bet most of the winds in this area are 30 to 40 miles per hour. And that's really just not strong enough for a tornado at this point in time. But I want to look back at how tight the couplet was. So yeah, we have a pretty tight couplet here, and then it's really broadening out and looking a lot less scary on the radar. When I look down at those other storms through Aransas County, Padre Island, Port Aransas, Mustang Island, no clear signs of rotation. Maybe a tiny bit right here over 361. So this is going to be near JP Luby Beach as this storm drifts offshore. Maybe worried a little bit about a water spout, but it's this storm in Refugio County as it is now. Any chance of a tornado looks like it's going to be in between Oswell and Tivoli, and that's where there is a possibility of a spin up happening, but this is continuing to move northeast, and that's a good sign. It's continuing to look weaker to me. That is a good sign as well. But this is going to be 5:10 now, which was the estimated time of arrival at the beginning of the show of this potential tornado kind of crossing over into northeastern Aransas County. So again, this is 5:15 is your tornado warning. It is not a confirmed tornado, but we want everyone in this area to just be aware of the situation and be safe. That's the whole point of this long form weather update early this morning on First Edition. The time now is 5:10 a.m. and we are looking at, I'm trying to get Tivoli to pop up on the map, and that's something I'm gonna have to look at after this severe weather update. But what we are seeing is much more broad rotation, and I'm not saying there's no chance of a tornado at this point in time, but it is looking much less likely. Right here, when the warning was first issued, that was 4:46, just before the warning was issued. That would be the best chance in time for a tornado to happen. At this point, it is looking much more messy, and I'm hesitant to say I think I'm going to let us move back to news right now, but it's so close. The more broad, the lighter these colors are, the less scary it's going to be. But again, with Tivoli and Oswell, really both cities just being so close to this, we just want to take the most precautions to keep everyone safe here in the coastal bend. And this is not something you want to see at 5:11 a.m. in the morning. But again, it is moving northeast. It is tracking kind of right along Highway 35, but then it's going to cross and continue to move northeast as we speak. Just north of Port Lavaca, should pass somewhere between Port Lavaca and Victoria. So McFadden was an area. You're south. McFadden is well north of where the storm will be this time around. There was a storm that passed through the McFadden area that weakened pretty quickly. What we are going to see is Green Lake and areas to the north there, Cami, Clark Station, Heiser. All of these locations should be alerts that a tornado is coming. But again, this is moving out of the coastal Bend counties. So we focus on Refugio County, Aransas County, Nueces County, San Patricio County, B County. This is somewhere, this is looking messy. I wouldn't be worried about any tornado spin-ups there in B County, but we're going to take a wide look at the radar again just to see what all is going on. So the cold front, it's going to be right here. This is our cold front right through here. It's going to pass over Highway 77, peak wind gusts with the front, 30 miles per hour. Nothing too crazy. The crazy spot right now is right where this stream of moisture being pulled up into the front is mixing with that frontal boundary. So the cold front moving through Refugio right now, once the front passes, so these areas, Beeville, George West, Freer, Benavides, anyone whose temperature is already in the 60s, which we just went over not too long ago. Beeville was in the 60s. George West, temperatures were falling through Mathis, Alice, Benavides. All of those areas that are already in the 60s, you're done with the chance of thunderstorms. You're just going to start to see the weather improving throughout the day. But right through here, this line, this is the cold front. Out ahead of the front, we have some winds trying to gust. I haven't seen any gusts stronger than 30 miles per hour, but it's this flow of moisture. This is our heaviest rainfall through the event. Really, the rest of these storms are going to be so spotty. You're not going to get as much rain as you hoped for at this point in time, except for areas Rockport seeing the heavy rain right now, Port Aransas seeing the heavy rain right now, and then Refugio, Oswald, Tivoli. This is the area where there is that potential of a tornado. And really at this time, I think it is safe to say, now that we're watching it in motion, that this couplet has broadened out enough. Now the National Weather Service does still have this tornado warning until 5:15. Actually, that's one more minute. We'll wait one more minute, make sure we're in the clear, and then we'll be good to go. So thank you everyone for bearing with us this morning with this weather. It's our first kind of big cold front of the season, and it is producing again a possible tornado with the storm into northeastern Refugio County, Oswell right here, Seadrift right here. It's going to pass north of Seadrift, and that's the location where we're seeing the strongest thunderstorm at this time. So you'll see here the lightning, less lightning. That's another good sign as we're heading into the 5:15 hour. So I think this warning should be allowed to expire on time from the National Weather Service. There we go. We have it. So we'll toss to break, and then we'll have all your election coverage that you need to know coming up.